In the gleaming towers of Santon, Johannesburg, where glass and steel touch the African sky, there are secrets that money cannot hide. This is the story of Amara, a woman who cleaned the offices of the powerful, never knowing that one whispered warning would change 3 lives forever. Some call her a hero, others call her a fool, but in the world of billionaires, speaking up can cost you everything or save everyone. This is African Empire Tales. Amara Okonkwo arrived at the Dlamini Tower every morning at 5 a.m., 2 hours before the sun painted Johannesburg gold. At 32, her hands were weathered from years of scrubbing floors in buildings she could never afford to own. She sent every rand she could spare back to her 2 children in Lagos, living with her mother while Amara chased a better life in South Africa. The 47th floor belonged to one man, Thabo Dlamini, mining billionaire, philanthropist, and the 2nd richest man in South Africa. Forbes estimated his worth at $8.2 billion. Amara knew him only as Sir, the quiet man who sometimes nodded at her in the hallways, who left his coffee mug on the edge of his desk so she wouldn't have to reach too far. He was kind, that's all she knew. That, and the fact that he loved his wife desperately. Naledi Dlamini, former Miss South Africa, venture capitalist, the woman whose photograph smiled from every magazine cover, her arm linked through Thabo's at charity galas, her designer dresses flowing like water made of silk. On that Tuesday morning in March, Amara pushed her cleaning cart past Thabo's corner office. The door was slightly open, unusual, since he never arrived before 8 a.m. She was about to continue when she heard voices, low, urgent, angry. "You're becoming a liability, Thabo." Amara froze. That voice didn't belong to Naledi. It was male, smooth. She recognized it. Daniel Molefe, Thabo's business partner and childhood friend, the man who stood beside him in every photograph, who the newspapers called the brains behind the Dlamini Empire. "What are you talking about?" Thabo's voice, confused. "The offshore accounts you've been investigating, the missing funds. You need to stop asking questions." Amara's heart hammered. She should leave. She should run. But her feet wouldn't move. "Those accounts have siphoned 340 million rand from our mining operations, Daniel. I'm not stopping until I find out where it went." Thabo's voice was steel now. "If someone is stealing from us, from US?" Daniel laughed, bitter and cold. "Thabo, you brilliant, naive fool. There is no us anymore. There's me, building an actual empire while you play the saint. There's Naledi, who's been smarter than both of us." Silence, heavy, suffocating. "What does Naledi have to do with this?" "Everything, brother. Everything. Who do you think helped me move the money? Who do you think has been planning this for 3 years? Your perfect wife, your precious Naledi, has been bleeding your empire dry. And tomorrow, when you sign those merger papers I prepared, the last of your control transfers to me. You'll be worth billions on paper and won't control a single diamond mine." Amara's hand flew to her mouth. She heard something crash. A glass, maybe. Thabo's voice cracked. "You're lying." "Am I?" "Check your wife's phone. Check the property she bought in Mauritius under her mother's name. Check the flight manifest for the private jet she took to meet me in Cape Town last month. We've been partners in more ways than one, Thabo." The sound of a fist hitting a desk. "Get out! Get out! Sign the papers tomorrow, or I'll destroy you publicly. I have evidence that you embezzled those funds. Naledi and I made sure of it. Sign, keep your reputation, and fade away quietly. Or fight and lose everything. Your money, your name, your freedom." Footsteps. Coming toward the door. Amara ran. For 6 hours, Amara scrubbed toilets with shaking hands. Her mind raced. Should she tell someone? Who would believe a maid? She could lose her job. She could be deported. Her children needed her income. But that man, Mr. Dlamini, with his quiet kindness, his gentle nods, he was about to lose everything. At 2 p.m., she saw Thabo leave his office. His face was grey, aged 10 years in hours. He walked like a man underwater, drowning in betrayal. Amara made her decision. She waited until the floor emptied. At 6 p.m., when even the ambitious junior executives had gone home, she knocked on his door. "Sir? Mr. Dlamini?" He looked up, eyes red-rimmed. "Amara, you should go home. I'm fine." She stepped inside and closed the door. Her voice trembled. "Don't talk. Please, sir. Just listen to me." And she told him everything. Every word she'd heard that morning. Thabo listened, his face unreadable. When she finished, he was silent for so long, she thought he might call security. Finally, he spoke. "Why are you telling me this? You could pretend you heard nothing. Because my husband did this to me once, sir." Amara's voice broke. "He stole my small savings, only 30,000 naira, nothing compared to your millions, and he did it with my sister. When I discovered it, everyone told me to stay quiet, to not make trouble, to protect his reputation and our family name." She looked directly at him, this poor maid to this billionaire king. "I stayed quiet, sir, and it destroyed me. It destroyed my trust, my marriage, my peace. I lost everything anyway, but I lost it in silence. I lost it while pretending nothing was wrong." Tears streamed down her face. "Don't sign those papers tomorrow. Don't stay quiet. Not like I did." That night, Thabo Dlamini didn't go home. He called his personal lawyer, his forensic accountant, and a private investigator he'd used for corporate espionage cases. By dawn, they'd uncovered everything. The shell companies, the falsified documents, the affair, the plan. The merger meeting was scheduled for 10 a.m. Daniel arrived in his Bentley, confident and smiling. Naledi came separately, playing the dutiful wife, her Hermes bag swinging from her arm. They entered the boardroom. Thabo sat at the head of the table, the unsigned merger documents before him. "Finally being reasonable, I see," Daniel said, pulling out a chair. "Sit down, Naledi," Thabo said quietly. For the next hour, Thabo laid it all out. Every transaction, every lie, every stolen rand. His lawyer projected bank statements on the screen. The investigator played recorded phone calls between Daniel and Naledi, their voices discussing how to manage Thabo, how to accelerate the timeline. Naledi's face crumbled. Daniel's jaw tightened. "You have two choices," Thabo said, his voice like ice over deep water. "Option 1, I call the police right now. Both of you face fraud charges, embezzlement, conspiracy. You'll spend the next decade in Johannesburg Central Prison. And option 2, Daniel's voice was barely audible. You return every cent. You sign over your shares to me. You leave South Africa within 48 hours and never return. You release any claim to the Dlamini name, the Dlamini companies, the Dlamini legacy." Naledi lunged across the table. "You can't do this. I gave you 10 years of my life. You gave me 10 years of lies." Thabo stood. "You have 1 hour to decide." They chose option 2. 3 months later, Amara received a letter delivered to her small apartment in Yeoville. Inside was a key and a document. The document was a property deed. A 3-bedroom house, in her name, in Lagos, near her mother and children. Paid in full. The letter was handwritten. Amara, you told me not to stay quiet. You saved my empire, but more than that, you saved my dignity. You taught me that courage doesn't come from boardrooms or bank accounts. It comes from people who have everything to lose and speak anyway. This house is not payment. You cannot pay someone for their integrity. This is gratitude. Your children will grow up in a home their mother owns. No one can take that from you. Thank you for your voice when mine was paralyzed by betrayal. You told me, don't talk, listen. Now I tell you, never stop talking. Your words saved a billionaire. Imagine what else they can do. With deepest respect, Thabo Dlamini. Amara held the deed to her chest and cried. Not the silent tears of shame she'd shed for years, but the loud, free sobs of a woman who'd found her voice and changed her destiny. In the world of empires, power doesn't always come from billions. Sometimes it comes from a maid who refused to look away, who whispered, "Don't talk, listen," and everything changed. This has been African Empire Tales, where wealth meets destiny and the smallest voices echo the loudest. What would you have done in Amara's position? Tell us in the comments below. Subscribe for more stories of power, betrayal, love, and redemption from across the African continent. Because every empire has a secret, and every secret has a price.